back to We Are Wool People. My name's Ailsa. On this channel we talk about knitting. How is everyone today? I hope that you're all having a great day and that all your knitting is going really well. My knitting has been going fairly well. I'm going to catch you up today on my current whip, and I'm also going to take you later on a virtual tour through all the knitting and crochet that was on display at the Sydney Royal Easter Show last week. There were some amazing pieces in those cabinets, and I went along last Monday, I think. Yeah, I went on Monday with my husband. We just went to the show for the day, and I'm pretty sure that I've got footage of absolutely everything that was on display. So I think that's quite a comprehensive range. There was definitely so much knitting and crochet this year, much more than I've seen in other years. I believe that this year, for the second year in a row, there were more crocheted items than there were knitted items. And I also believe that there were a whopping 57 blankets that were entered into the Royal Arts Society Easter Show craft competition this year, and I'm pretty sure that I've got all of them. I've got so much footage, and I'm just going to let it roll so you can all sit back and relax and just enjoy looking at what could arguably be the best of the best knitting and crochet in Australia for 2025, I guess. Arguably, as we often say. Right. But before I do that, I've got two things to do. One of them is I'm going to catch you up on what I did decide to end up doing with the beautiful Cardiff Cashmere Prime yarn that was gifted to me in, very special circumstances. Here it is here. I'll catch you up in a minute with what I decided to do. And then I'm going to literally, before we head off to the show, I'm going to go through some of the unbelievably beautiful patterns that were suggested to me for the use of this yarn. There were so many fantastic suggestions that I made a bundle on Ravelry, and I've called it, predictably, Cardiff Cashmere Prime Suggestions, and I was really blown away with some of these patterns. Some of them I'd never seen before, and I was really excited. So much so that I'm going to take the suggestion of one of my lovely commenters who said that maybe we might do a lace weight knit along. And I think I might do that. So first of all, I'll tell you about this Cardiff Cashmere. Then I'll tell you who's the winning comment, who I'm going to give away a pattern to. Then we'll go through these lace patterns that are just unbelievably beautiful. And at the very end, we'll all go to the show together and eat cheese on a stick and look at some fantastic knitting. All right, so let's start with this one. So what I ended up doing with the Cardiff Cashmere Prime yarn that I received in the colour Christabel is that I actually decided to self-draft a pullover based very heavily on the pullover that I was wearing in my previous episode. It's I got it from Seed Heritage. It's a mohair mix pullover. So what I did was I did a gauge swatch, and then I've done it step by step using that jumper as like a template. I've actually filmed a fair bit of footage along the way. I might make a project video about it. I'm not sure how to do that, but I think I might try and do that. But I'll just show you what I'm up to. I've actually finished the body of the pullover, and I added a double knitted band. It's very similar to the actual proportions of the pullover that I bought from Seed Heritage. And I've done a 3 needle bind off over the shoulder seams. Now I'm ready to put on the sleeves. I'm in two minds about the sleeves at the moment. I am not sure whether I want to do a sleeve with a lace pattern on it, so that, and do it, this is held double, this Cashmere Prime, Cardiff Cashmere Prime, God, spit it out, it's held double, and I'm considering doing the sleeves that are going to be quite balloony in a single, hold it single and do it with a lace motif on it. I might do another little swatch about that and see how that goes, because I think that could be quite beautiful. But that's what I'm up to at the moment with the Cardiff Cashmere Prime in the colour Christabel. But I was so inspired by what you guys suggested in lace weight garments. I'm going to make one of these patterns that was suggested to me in addition to what I've done from this gifted yarn, because some of them were so exciting. I just thought they were really, really beautiful. And before I do that, I will actually let you know who was the winner of my random comment for my pattern giveaway. I used a random comment picker software app, and the winner is AMcD81. You can't see that, I'll put it up on the screen. AMcD81, who said, I love looking at the yarn craft section at local shows. There's so much talent living amongst us. There really is, and I'll show you some of that later. The April sweater by Isabel Kramer is beautiful, but I like the Nile sweater by Gregoria Fibres, and I think that'd be beautiful in our yarn. Good in that yarn. Good luck choosing a pattern. Thanks for that. So, as I said, I made a bundle and I called it Cardiff Cashmere Prime Suggestions. And it's in Ravelry, and I'll link it in the description box. And I really do encourage you to go and have a look at the 60 patterns that I've put in that bundle, because they are all absolutely beautiful. But my favourites, in no particular order, are number 1. And this pattern is an all-over lace pullover with a beautiful leaf-like motif all the way around the pullover. A lovely loose sleeve with a really feminine cinching in at the wrist that looks like it's tied with an I-cord. And the jumper also has an I-cord tie at the waist. It's very, very feminine, really beautiful. There are only 9 projects, so I'm not sure how many testers that she would have had for this project. So I guess in a way, you're probably a bit of a risk if you were to make it. However, having a look at the ones that are finished, that have got photos on them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they do all look beautiful. Particularly, I really like the colour of this blue one here that's made with Concept by Cartier Mohair cotton. Now that yarn, that Concept by Cartier Mohair cotton, is actually a blown yarn. It's really quite cost effective too, but I really think that this one here is really gorgeous as well. And this particular knitter has paired it with a knitted skirt, a white knitted skirt, also beautiful. And also she's used a velvet or satin ribbon rather around the wrists, and I think that that is a really beautiful version of this pullover. So that's the lace jumper by Irena Kuchinskaya. Really like that one. Next up, we've got the Cherry Cocktail Blouse by Alice Hammer. This is a really old pattern actually. It was designed in November 2017. And the suggested yarn is La Droguerie Plumette. Now La Droguerie are in Paris, and I've been to their shop actually. It was about probably 2017 when I went. Might have even been before that. So this is a really oversized sort of blouson style pullover, very French, and I'm a sucker for anything French. And at the back, which is the main feature, there's this really large keyhole feature at the back of the sweater, which I presume you could probably turn it around and use it at the front. It looks like it's actually knitted in a circular yoke construction, and again it's very oversized with the really light blouson kind of silhouette that would really suit a Laceweight yarn. And I love this one. Thank you for that suggestion. If you look at the plumette from La Droguerie is 70% mohair, 30% nylon, and it's actually held double for this pattern. There are a lot of projects for the Cherry Cocktail Blouse, and 112 projects, and again they all look fantastic. It's a really light, airy piece. There's one here that Ginger Tricot has made, and she's actually put a cherry motif all over it using intarsia. It's very cool. People are so creative, aren't they? Fantastic. So that's the Cherry Cocktail Blouse by Alice Hammer. The next one I really liked as well is the Little Yan Pullover by Eri Shimizu. This one is knitted with a fingering weight yarn with an 18 stitch gauge, which is similar to the gauge to the pattern we just looked at. This is a very simple silhouette raglan with quite a long, wide, deep neckline with an ordinary raglan line, although it does look like the raglan line is quite wide, so it is quite decorative. Loose fitted, and the feature is this beautiful stitch pattern, which, as you can see up close, is quite an ornate stitch pattern. It's not really a honeycomb stitch. It actually looks like it's quite an involved lace stitch. It's really beautiful as well. I love this pink one. What does it say? Almost nothing. It's 58 projects for this pattern. If I look at some of them, Sophie Fly's project, that is just so gorgeous, isn't it? I really love that one. It looks like it could be quite a challenging knit, to be honest. There's some short rows in it too, by the looks of things. Well, right, so that's the Little Yarn Pullover by Airy Shimizu. Next up, we've got Smoke the Sweater by Knitting Sciura. I think this is the pattern that I'm going to make. This pattern is recommended for Garn Studio Drop Kid Silk, which is a lace weight yarn, a kid silk blend lace weight yarn. It's got a really beautiful honeycomb style pattern on the yoke that looks like it actually grows in size as the width of the yoke grows. It's really beautiful. It also mirrors that same patterning on the wrist and also looks like down the side seams of the jumper. It's got a split hem with the back slightly longer than the front, which I think actually doesn't really suit the style of the pullover. I think the split hems where the back is a bit longer than the front suit a more casual style kind of look, whereas this pullover with all this ornate lace patterning is quite a dressy and almost sort of formal style. I'm not sure that I won't do that. If I'm going to make this sweater, I'm not going to do that split hem. Sorry about that, ran out of battery. Now, in complete contrast, we have the Sadie top by Woozy by Celine. Now, this top is just absolutely simplicity itself. It's designed in a really open gauge to give an airy, almost mesh popover, if you like, that's clearly designed to be used as a top layer over an existing outfit, which was really fashionable during last winter. So Celine has designed this top as a soft veil worked seamlessly top down in stockinette stitch. It starts with an elegant boat neck, and it has a saddle shoulder construction to follow the natural curve of the shoulder. The roomy sleeves and the cropped body are adorned with a non-rolling edge. There are 107 projects on Ravelry for the Sadie top that was designed by Woozy by Celine, who we've mentioned earlier is a fantastic knitting YouTuber. She makes great videos and she's so beautiful to watch. So if I have a look at all of these and I search it by most favourites, a lot of people have made it in silk mohair, and they all again look really, really lovely. The great thing about this top, I think, is that it suits both a really casual kind of wear as well as a more dressy wear. If you were to make it in a darker colour and wear it over an evening outfit, then you could definitely wear it as a nighttime piece. And by the same token, you could also use it as an airy daytime piece over just a small camisole if you made it in a lighter colour, or you know, any colour, of course. You can make anything in any colour, duh. I really like this version made by Rachel Arosen. This Sadie top that she's made in the cream, that she's put over a pair of linen pants and just a little cream camisole. It just looks fantastic. It's got a real casual but chic kind of look about it. And she's made that using, she's tiny as you can see, but she's made that using only 2.5 balls of Rowan mohair, which, like I say, if you're only using lace weight yarn, then lace weight garments are actually quite cost effective. The next pattern I really love is La Tulipe sweater by Mir Knits. This one is suggested for Derurum Natura Berenice. It's another yarn I've never seen, but it is talking about holding the two lace weight yarns together to give a fingering weight gauge of 22 stitches. This is talked about as being a soft, airy, feminine sweater featuring wavy lace patterns in an extra fine, fluffy mohair yarn. It's a yoked sweater worked top down, elegant sleeves. It's got a lace edging on the neckband, and it says that it'll be a very beautiful and easy piece to wear with jeans and a skirt. If I look at this lovely pink one that's been paired here with a really nice structured skirt, you can see what she means about the patterning in in the neckline. It's not just an ordinary rib, it does look like it's almost whatever happens prior to this rib being knitted, it gives the neckband edge a scalloped sort of shape. And it looks to me too like this yoke shaping is happening by increasing the number of stitches within each lace motif repeat, which is really clever and really seamless and actually makes for a very enjoyable knit, I think. If you like knitting lace, you'll really love knitting this La Tulipe sweater. So I just think that would be a really, really fun knit. There's only one project for this on Ravelry, so difficult to know whether it would be a risk or not making it. It's quite an intricate pattern. I think this one's really beautiful. There haven't been many projects because it was only designed last month, so it's a brand new pattern called La Tulipe sweater. Next one, back to a simple knit again. This one is called the Diaphanous Raglan by Jessie Maed Designs. There are 1,103 projects because Jessie Maed is a really, really popular knitwear designer, mostly because probably of the size inclusivity that these patterns run towards, which is absolutely fantastic. Jessie Maed does a lot of work in that space. Now this pattern is also really, really gorgeous because it's got that contrast between the solid knitted body and then the really, really diaphanous, says it in the name, sleeves that are knitted with the yarn held single. I'd say that the body is held with the yarn double or possibly holding a fingering weight and a mohair together, and then the sleeves are just knitted in the mohair on its own. That would be a bit of yarn management to happen if that's knitted from the top down in the raglan shaping, but it really gives a fantastic result. Here it is in black. Now this looks like it's actually got a V neck, or oh, I know what's happened here. She's turned it around and she's worn it reversible. There are 1,103 projects on Ravelry for this design, which is a testament to Jessie Maed's popularity. And interestingly, Just Lace It, I'm going to have to check her projects out, has made this diaphanous raglan, but she's used a Lily of the Valley lace motif rather in the sleeves. Now this is really a fantastic pattern hack to this design, and that just looks amazing. I love this one. What does she say about? She's done quite a bit of modification because she's knit the XXL since her gauge was way smaller to get a medium-sized jumper. So that's the Diaphanous Raglan by Jessie Maed Designs, another fantastic pattern that was suggested to me. Next up, we've got the Felice Blouse by Yuka Tomioka. This one is a really simple kind of tunic style top by a Japanese designer that was designed in November 2023. The wonderful feature on this one is that it's completely reversible, and you can see it here with the keyhole motif or the keyhole feature at the back, as well as in the original picture where you can see the keyhole feature in the front. This pattern has been photographed in quite a few yarns. One of them looks like it could be even a linen blend yarn, a linen blend Laceweight, and then this one here that's obviously in a silk mohair yarn. There are 41 projects on Ravelry for this pattern, and they've been made in lots of colours and lots of different yarns. There's a really nice one here made in a peach colour, and then so that's the Felice Blouse. Next up, we've got this free pattern called Lise by Rachel Sorgaard. This is a really sweet cardigan made in Laceweight yarn. This would be quite a quick knit, I think, because it's got quite a minimalist sort of silhouette, and because it's quite close fitting. It's knitted from the top down with a round neck. It's quite an open round neck, and it's got some lace detailing down the front panels, a knitted button band, and the sleeves in it are actually quite long. It's a set-in sleeve, and I think it probably would all be knitted in one piece. And this one looks like it would be a great use of a Laceweight yarn. A really simple silhouette, slightly puffed sleeves, just stocking stitch all the way through. The main feature of this is this lovely traditional print of the wave lace motif that flows down the front of this sweater. As a matter of fact, looking at this one and looking at the way that that lace is orientated, I think that this might be knitted from the bottom up. Let me just check. It doesn't say. But I think that it's probably knitted from the bottom up. I say that because of the orientation of the print of the wave lace motif. It actually was running from bottom to top. You can often tell in, for example, Sari Nordland patterns that she designs from the top down, and her lace motifs are often upside down. They still look good upside down, but you can tell if they're designed for the other way around. So the next one, we're getting towards the end now, is the Ballerina Romance Sweater by Camille K. Now this one's French. Camille K is a French designer, and I'm a sucker for anything French. So this design is made for 2 lace-weight yarns to be held together, probably an Angora blend, or again silk mohair blend. This is a wrap cardigan with a lot of lace detailing down the sleeves of the garment. Again, can be worn completely reversible with the wrap in the back or the front, and the crossover is actually joined within the button band itself, or button band rather, within the waistband itself. So there's no ties or anything on this. It's just a pullover that happens to have a crossover in the front or in the back, depending on how you want to wear it. This is a really lovely pattern as well, available in quite a few languages, and it's got a scalloped edge and lovely sleeves decorated with a lace stitch. The gauge on it is 20 stitches, and there are 86 projects on Ravelry. If I have a look at those sorted by favorites, you can see that a lot of them have been successfully made. This really lovely blue one, for example, really shows how lovely the scalloped edging is. This one was made with Laceweight Cashmere held double, so that would be a really luxurious, beautiful cardigan, wouldn't it? Another design that was suggested is Dahlia by Knitting for Breakfast. This one was designed in February 2022, and again, it's a top-down pullover, knitted all in one piece with various lace motifs sprinkled throughout the jumper. It's a top-down circular yoke sweater with gradual increases made at various points throughout the yoke to increase the size and the circumference of the yoke before putting the sleeves on hold, knitting the rest of the sweater, going back, finishing the sleeves, and then doing the neckline. I imagine, just looking at this one, it does look like the neckline is actually done right from the beginning. The whole thing is done in one piece, including the neckline. It's designed for a fingering and a lace held together to give a DK weight, but you know, you could definitely still swatch for this and manage to get this out of a lace weight yarn. The last one I want to show you is this CP05 V-neck by Minimi Knit Design. This is just a top-down V-neck sweater knitted in 2 lace weights held together. It's a very simple silhouette and a very simply designed jumper, but I think the use of the 2 lace weights together gives a really lovely fluffy effect. It looks like, I'm not sure about the shaping, and I'll have a bit of a look here because it's difficult to tell here. I think it is a raglan shaping, but it could well be a contiguous sleeve, because even though that does look like a raglan shaping, you can see that it's coming from the top of the shoulder, not from the front. So I think that's a contiguous sleeve design. I really love the neckline on this jumper. I really think that that twisted rib and the way that it comes down into the perfect vertical decrease down the front is a really special design and a really special feature. It really looks very professional, and I really, really love this one. It doesn't say whether it is in fact a contiguous sleeve, but it just says that it's worked seamlessly from the top down, and you can easily adjust the length of the body and the sleeves. And the neckband is worked by picking up stitches along the neck, and no short rows are included in the pattern, which you can see because the back neck is actually quite low. It hasn't been raised. Although if you're going to knit a pattern with no short rows, you're probably better off having the back neck being too low rather than too high, because if it's too high, then that's when you get your chest bubble problems. There's 51 projects for this on Ravelry. So that was the last pattern that I wanted to show you from the highlights from the fantastic suggestions I received for lace weight garments. I'm going to cast on one of these in July, and I think I'm actually going to order some Cardiff Cashmere from Yarnacopia during May, and that should get delivered in June, and then I'm going to cast on one of these lace weight projects in July. So if you want to cast on a lace weight project in July, feel free to join me. As I've mentioned a few times, just email me or contact me somehow and tell me you're going to do that, and we'll talk about that more throughout May and June. And once again, thanks so much for joining me. I've had a great time showing you these patterns today. I only brought one project with me to Queensland for this couple of days, so that is my cashmere sweater. So that really restricts you and makes sure that you get progress on your projects if you only bring one project. So that's a recommendation that I would make to anyone. If you're going traveling for a couple of days and you think you might get a bit of knitting time in, just take one project, because that kind of forces you to hyperfixate on that project and you'll get some progress on it. Done, I think. Anyway, I'm all talked out. I'm absolutely exhausted and I think I'm coming down with something. I'm not looking forward to that. My daughter had influenza A last week and I don't want to get that. So once again, thank you for joining me. I've had a great time hanging out with you today, and I am going to leave you now with some footage from the Royal Easter Show 2025 knitting and crochet cabinets. I'm pretty sure I got everything. So I hope you enjoy that, and I hope that your knitting in the next couple of weeks goes fantastic, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Take me to the ruins, aquifers and springs. Baby ferns uncurling every living thing. Be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel. Show me faded color, fields of chamomile. All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether. All at once I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision or a tether. Take me to the jungle, teach me tiger law. Read to me a poem, sing to you a song. Drunk in my devotion, laid out on your chest. Student of abandon, with you I am blessed. All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether. All at once I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision or a tether. All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether.